Since 2002, I-Famagu'on-ta, Guam's system of care, has been providing support and services to families that have children with serious emotional and behavioral problems. According to Director I-Tyquiengco, this special division under the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse is federally funded by the Center of Mental Health Services through a $9.5 million grant. I-Tyquiengco recalls how the program's name was chosen.
These are all our children. They may be in DYA, they may be in CPS or mental health, but all the agencies are working together with basically the same population of young people. So if I-Famagu'on-ta makes more sense, it means our children. So,
I-Tyquiengco mentions I-Famagu'on-ta's Positive Foundation is deeply rooted in a 30-year system of care model from the U.S. mainland, as well as the Chamorro culture. Much like the way island residents have to work together to catch fish or gather food, this program depends on a community to help solve a child's problems. Dr. Vince Akimoto is an advocate of Guam's system of care. He says from a physician's perspective, you can't treat certain problems solely on medicine.
You know, we work with a lot of the families who go through the heartache of finding out that their child's on drugs or that their 14-year-old daughter is pregnant. Lots of these things come to the doctor's offices, but they're not medical illnesses. They're really relationship issues and they're familial problems.
Akimoto says these types of problems are the reason why Guam's system of care needs to exist. But how successful is the program? I-Tyquiengco mentions over 650 of the 700 families that have walked through I-Famagu'on-ta's doors required intensive services for their children to get on the right track. I-Tyquiengco says success takes time.
If a child has a lot of needs in the area of education as well as other needs like health and housing, because we work with the whole family, it takes a while. So some of them we still have that were original consumers of our program.
In the next part of this special series, we'll meet William, a young man who shares his story of child abuse, living with a pedophile, and how he rose from a troubled life through the help of I-Famagu'on-ta's services. We'll also find out what officials are doing to preserve the program, as a federal grant that has kept it going for nearly 7 years ends this fall. By all accounts, William Maka is one of the ultimate success stories that have come out of the I-Famagu'on-ta program. The 19-year-old has had more than a troubled life, which started to peak when he was only 7. The Department of Youth Affairs, Sanctuary, Mental Health, Foster Care, you name it, Will has been there. The former Talafofo resident says he used to run away from home, sleep at bus stop shelters, and rob homes for food. Will is also a victim of child abuse, something guards at DYA discovered when he was being strip searched.
It was nighttime. We went to DYA. They transported me, and when they strip search, when they come in, they do a strip search. They saw all the bruises on my back. Then they arrested my mom.
Wow.
And then I was like, "Oh, it's like, what happened to you, boy?" So I don't know. I got spanking. Because I guess I was so used to the bruises now.
Will doesn't live with his mother anymore, but still has a relationship with her. Before he started staying with his father, which is where he lives today, he unknowingly stayed with a foster parent that had a history of being a pedophile. Thankfully, that individual never touched him and was arrested. I-Famagu'on-ta Youth Coordinator Sonia Tyron says there are many young people like Will that have grown up in the system, but she says what's important is that I-Famagu'on-ta helps them to find their own strengths and discover their own goals.
With William, he's come a long way. We've seen him through high school. He had difficulties. He was involved with the court, and from there, we just worked towards his success. And one day, they finally realized that you're there to help them.
William indeed has become a success. He graduated from Southern High School and still meets with Sonia and other stakeholders that have a vested interest in his well-being on a regular basis. Not only has he developed a love for surfing and playing the guitar, but he enjoys reading the Bible. Currently, Will works for Speedy Lube and attends classes at the Guam Community College. He hopes to be a fully certified mechanic one day. While Will says he doesn't have to write down his goals anymore, he has it embedded in his head where he wants to go with his life.
I'm already old enough to, achieve what I want or help to achieve. I just think about it and just keep my mind off of things, bad things, and just turn to it.
In the third part of this special series, we find out from Sonia how I-Famagu'on-ta really works and the steps that are taken to ensure children are led to a path of success.